Hey team, I'm excited to share this episode with you today. In today's episode, we'll be clocking in with Heather, a special education teacher at a public charter school. Growing up, I was always the class clown distracting everyone, and to be honest, I pretty much still do that. But after graduating and realizing that teachers had to deal with students like me, has given me a whole new level of respect for them. Growing up, my parents prioritized education and learning, and so education is really important to me. I believe education is foundational to progress and develop as a society, and teachers are the backbone of it all. So I wanted to give a big shout out to all of the teachers out there. All right, let's jump in. Heather, thanks for coming on to today's show.
Hello, happy to be here.
It's been quite a while since we've talked to each other.
Like a decade.
Yeah, like a literal decade.
Like I don't think I've seen you since you graduated high school in 2013.
2013.
Yeah.
When did you graduate?
2014.
Okay. So
Yeah, I was
1
just a
year
year
later.
after. But like all my friends graduated in 2013, and so then I was like, wait, what do I do?
Yeah, like the friend vacuum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a few friends in 2014, but then we all went our separate ways.
I've been following along on your stories and stuff, so that's been pretty
you.
cool with social media.
My fake fluencing.
Yeah,
So-
I love like the outfit of the day
Thank
stuff and the
you.
crazy pants.
The Will It Rice Krispie, do you follow along with that series as well?
What is that one?
So I do different foods and
Okay.
like I Rice Krispie them like as if I'm making Rice Krispies, and I will call it Will It Rice Krispie, and I've done like Lay's chips, pretzels. all that
Pretzels are
one.
amazing in Rice
Okay.
Krispies. Oh, okay, wait,
It's
hold
so
on.
good,
Do
but
you-
that's yeah.
Do you just make like normal Rice Krispies?
Yeah,
and
but
then
I
add
don't
those
use.
things? Oh,
I
but-
don't use the Rice Krispies. So like you have I have it highlighted on my Instagram.
Okay,
it's-
but run through it.
Yeah. Okay. So I literally will, whenever I'm going to the store, I'll like walk down all the aisles and be like, okay, what can I make that is like kind of crazy, but also will make a
edible.
good treat.
Yeah.
And I'll like look, and I've done like broken up Oreos before. I've done the most popular one was Oreo cereal.
Okay.
So good.
Yeah.
Pretzels, like the Dots pretzels, the cinnamon kind. I just like crushed them up in a bag. Or what are some other ones I've done? Lay's chips was a big one. That one was actually really good. Ritz crackers was my most recent. Anyway, so I grab an ingredient like that and I break it up so it's kind of just
Same
like
size-ish.
ish, but like maybe a little bigger. And then I melt the butter. I put in the marshmallows, the vanilla, get that to like a thick whatever. And then I pour in whatever the treat is. And I just mix it up as if it was a Rice Krispie. And then I let it sit and cool. And then I cut it up as if it was a Rice Krispie. And I always give a rating on my Instagram. And I like typically will have someone else eat it and give me a rating. So
Wait, that's lit.
yeah, that's my fake fluencing.
I don't think.
I'm
wait.
still waiting for Kroger or like someone to sponsor me so I can like keep it up. But
All right, Kroger.
unfortunately,
You're hearing it now. We need a sponsorship.
no, but I have had someone reach out for my pants series, and
Oh,
I
sick.
did a brand deal with them.
Oh, wait, was that today?
No, it was like probably 2 or 3 months ago
Okay, gotcha.
with like a super cute boutique. It was just fun.
Oh, wait, that's so
But
sick.
no, it was so funny. It's fake fluencing though. Like I can't make money off of it because I have to be private because I'm a high school teacher because my students will follow me anyways.
Ooh,
The woes of
Yeah.
being a high school teacher.
literally.
No, it's fun though.
I saw that you've also been doing like a lot of running.
Yes.
So like, so we were in Vegas together.
We were.
That was kind of
but like not
crazy.
together. I wish I would have seen you.
Same.
I was like looking for you at the Start Village. I was like, I gotta find him. But I also haven't seen you in 10 years. So I was like, I don't know what he looks like anymore.
kind of same.
I was like, could look the exact same, could not.
Yeah, I got a perm, so I like look a little different.
Did you
now.
actually?
Yeah.
Really?
I said, you know what? I'm gonna step out of my comfort zone and just do it. And this is the most confidence I've ever had.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
If you've ever thought about it, just do it.
I have, but also I like used to have really long hair and I
Mm.
chopped it, my gosh, 2022. And so it's like finally growing back and I'm like, nothing else.
You're like,
Like I
I
miss
spent a lot of time on this.
Yeah, I was like, I miss my long like hair, like my iconic long hair, and now I'm like, nothing else will touch my head. So one day maybe when I have my 30-year-old crisis, because that was like my 25. Like I was 25 when I chopped it, and I'm like, maybe when I turn 35, I'll perm it.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 29.
29. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned 30 in June, and so I think that's kind of why
How
I
do you
did it.
feel?
I'm actually very much looking forward
Okay.
to it.
I
yeah.
actually am too. I turned 30 in October.
Okay, cool.
And I'm still at the point where I'm like a little nervous, but I'm like, no, 30s are gonna be great. I hope. I'm excited for it because right now it's weird. My students are like, "Oh, you're in your 20s, like we're so close,"
young,
and I was like,
yeah.
"No, we're not." So I
They
can't
are
wait to be
literally
like 30s, haha.
It's so funny when I look back at like when I talk to my cousins who are in high school and I'm like, you're still a child. And
Yeah.
then I look at like uh kids who just graduated college and I'm like, dude, you're very
Also
young.
still a
Yes,
child.
literally.
Yeah.
It's so funny because when
So
I was
weird.
like at that age, I just felt or thought I was so mature.
I was on top of the world.
Yeah, literally.
I was in charge of the world.
And then I look at it, I'm like, no,
Yeah.
dude, you didn't know anything.
I look at my 15, 16, 17-year-old students and I'm like, you don't even know.
Yeah.
You don't know what's coming for you.
Life kind of comes in fast.
It smacks you.
Yep.
Like, you turn 18, good luck.
Literally.
Good luck.
I kind of think that's like slightly bullshit, but it's like, you're right. It's like going into college and stuff. People are like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? And before you're 18, and you say, oh, I don't know. And their response is something along the lines of, oh, you're so young, you can figure it out. Then you turn 18, and then they're like, well, you don't have it figured out.
Wait, what are you
yet.
talking about? You don't have it figured out.
Yeah,
like
you
you're
don't have
going
your
to
entire-
college in 3 months.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's no transition, which is
Yeah.
so weird.
Well, it's so funny because in high school now they have like transition programs and like plans that you have to complete, but it's only for special education. I don't see it in the general education side, but it is so useful for the kids that I work with because then they have an idea of like what to do and how to get there. But we can talk about that as
Yeah.
we get there.
So what grade do you teach and like what subject?
It's such a weird topic because I'm a special education teacher.
Oh, okay.
And I work at a public charter school and we have grades 7th through 12th.
7 through 12.
Yeah, so we have junior high, high school. So I specifically am in charge of my high school scholars. So I majority have 9th through 12th graders, so high school. But I do have a few 7th graders, 8th graders that I watch over and work with.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so it's a confusing question.
And how long have you been a teacher for?
Also a hard question. So I graduated school in 2019, and then I didn't really start teaching until 2020 just because I graduated at the end of 2019 and then COVID.
So the school year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
August, the
and then
following
COVID. So like I felt weird being like, oh, I'm a teacher, but like we're online fully.
year. I was gonna ask that. Okay.
Yeah. So 2020 officially is like when I started my teaching career. So 5 years, but I took a 1.5 year break, but I was still teaching, but at the university level. So I'm going to say 5 years.
5 years.
Final answer.
Nice.
Yeah.
When did you get back into the office? Into the classroom?
So I taught for 2020, 2021 school year, and then 2021, 2022 school year. And then I took the 2022, 2023 school year off. I worked at ASU while I was getting my master's degree. And then I was going to work another school year at ASU, but I hated my job at ASU. So I just took the first job I could find on like Indeed or something. And I started in November of 2023. So last school year, and I've been there since.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
just a little over a year I've been back in the classroom.
I see. And were you always in special education?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see.
It's my degree. It's always where I've been.
And so you mentioned you have a master's degree.
I do, yeah.
What is that in?
So my master's degree is in autism spectrum disorders. It's in the special education like category though, but we only talked about autism, how to work with them in the schools, how to work with them in clinics, how to even diagnose it, that process and everything.
Oh wow, so that is was that like specifically school related about autism?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
We talked a
gotcha.
little bit about like outside of the school, like clinic settings, but we didn't go too into depth on that because you have to be a school psychologist or, excuse me, a clinical psychologist to diagnose outside of the school setting. You can be a school psychologist in the school setting to diagnose, but it's only for educational purposes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird system.
That's pretty cool. What made you like want to go back for school?
I hated my job.
Oh, okay. And you're like, all right, I gotta quit, so I'm gonna go back to school and
Listen,
figure it out. Yeah.
I didn't like teaching, but I realized it was because I didn't like the school I was at. And so I needed a way out. And I was like, I can't just resign. Like, because I was very like people pleaser at the time. And so I was like, I'll go back to school. Like, that's the perfect reason to leave. So, but then I did a ton of research and I found this degree. And I've always been interested in individuals with autism. And I do want to diagnose it one day as a school psychologist. So
Oh, cool.
I was like, you know what? This will be a really great program for me. And then I saw a job opening in the disability center at ASU. So I was like, if I get the job, I'll leave my job. And I got the job. So I was like, okay, bye. Like, I'm resigning. I got a bigger and better opportunity. And then I hated that job. So, but now I love my job.
Nice.
It was just, yeah, I think I was also just really young and naive when I started teaching. And like, COVID was really hard. And then when I went to ASU, it was just a really different crowd than what I was used to, and also kind of lingering COVID. And so, but I'm really happy to be back in the classroom.
I wanted to say that that's really cool that you were not happy and you took a chance on yourself and kept moving forward.
Thank you.
I think a lot of people kind of just stay and suffer.
Yeah.
So I'm going around and I'm trying to like build up this set of like sayings. And so
Okay.
I was going to say, when a bird lands on a branch, does it trust its wings or the branch?
Oh. Like, wouldn't they have to trust both?
Yeah, that's true, but it trusts its wings, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
And so it's like the way that I view that phrase or saying or whatever is like, you know what? It's important for you to go out and do what
Yeah.
you want to do because you should trust yourself.
Oh, I love that. That's a great thing. It's like a deeper thinking too to that. I really like that. That's gonna like stick with me for the next like 24 hours and be like, oh my gosh, Steve, that's so
Like,
profound. 3 a.m, I text you. I'm like, thank you for saying that. Like, still on my mind, by the way.
That's so funny. I was gonna say that I feel like I've brought that up a few times, and a lot of people have given me like the I don't know what you're trying to say to me. So I'm like,
Interesting.
oh, okay, cool.
No, I
must
think it
not
is
be that
definitely.
clear.
No, I get it. I see it, but I also am like, but I would trust the branch too.
I like branches. Yeah, a stable
Don't want to
branch.
fall.
Yeah,
actually,
literally.
But then, you know, the wings literally will. Anyways,
That's so funny.
we don't have to dwell on that.
Yeah. Damn, I was gonna try to say some flying.
Try it.
Uh,
Trust your wings.
trust your. Oh wow. Yeah, no,
It's
no,
okay, it's
nothing.
okay.
That's so funny. But you had mentioned something about how you are a teacher at a charter school.
Yeah.
What is the difference
I have no
between a
idea.
public? Oh, really?
Well, I mean, there's so much to it that I don't know all of it, but pretty much the funding is a little different. So we are a public charter, so we still get all the public funding, but if I am correct, and I'm not sure if I am,
Mm-hmm.
it is distributed differently amongst our like programs and students. Also, we're not like organized in a district. So it's just like we have a little bit more free will. Like we can choose different things, but still following all of the laws within education. I really should know more. People ask me all the time, and I'm like, I'm sure Chat GPT knows.
Oh yeah.
So, but sorry, I don't know a ton about it.
Okay, gotcha.
But this is a common misconception. People are like, oh, like you're charter school, so you don't have to accept everyone, which is false. If we are public, we're receiving public funds, we have to accept anyone that walks in our doors. So for example, we had, again, special education, so any kind of disability is welcomed. We had a student register with us who was a very, very low functioning student. In public education, they would have been in a class called self-contained, meaning they're with a special education teacher or paraprofessional the entire time they're at school, which my school is also an honors, like college prep school, which would be very difficult to do just because of the way we're run. But we had to accept them, and they ended up not coming to our school, but it would have been very interesting for me to see like what we would have done. And anyways, but we do have to accept every single person that applies for our school and makes it off the wait list.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so there is a wait list.
There is a wait list.
Okay,
yeah.
but in general, like once, I guess you know if like the queue is like,
Yeah.
is it like in order?
It is. So
Okay, yeah.
whenever you apply for it, that's your spot. Like we do family of like teachers and other staff as well as siblings of current students. They get let in first,
Mhm.
and then the queue is whenever you applied for the school. We do not modify it at all.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Were you always at a charter school?
No, I worked at Gilbert Public Schools.
Oh, wow, that's
yeah.
crazy.
I worked at Mesquite High School when
Oh, okay.
I first started teaching, which was a great place to start teaching because I felt like they had a lot of great things for me as a new teacher. But
You're like, I'm not a wildcat.
longevity, I know it was so hard. I was like,
Yeah, this
like,
isn't. These aren't my
I was
colors.
like, guys, I went to Highland. Like, and the kids were like, no, you're a wildcat. And I was like, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm really not.
I
But
don't
it was
rep these colors.
it was weird. It was so weird to like, and Highland at now is like this massive like powerhouse school, and Mesquite is like this teeny tiny like bug of a school. And so it was like weird to be like, that's what I could have. Like that's what I had. And I constantly compared, but ultimately didn't love it because that school at the time, I don't know if it's still the case, anyone that was expelled from any other high school in Gilbert Public would go to Mesquite before they went to the alternative high school.
Mhm.
Rough crowd.
Yeah.
And I was a 24-year-old.
Getting thrashed.
Yeah, like I had a guy. Anyway, he like smacked my butt and
Wow,
like
that's so
made sex
inappropriate.
jokes about me, like
Yeah.
in front of me, and I was like, oh my gosh, like have some decency.
Yeah, literally.
But yeah,
Can I?
it was crazy.
I wanted to take a second to actually say how much I appreciate.
I already know what you're gonna say, and thank you.
Yeah. Appreciate you being a teacher. I think that teachers have like a really tough job, and reflecting back on when I was a student, I was an awful student, and I said some pretty wild stuff, and I felt like I rocked the boat a lot, like to the point where I even went back to some teachers and apologized.
Really?
Yeah, my freshman year, I like came back and I was like, "I'm so sorry."
That's me. That's on me.
That was my fault. That was
My
bad.
everyone.
I disrupted you.
Puberty
a lot.
hit. I made sure like to understand my actions,
Literally.
and repent of them.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. No, I appreciate you saying that. It is interesting because when I started teaching, I had the same thing. I was like, I was too sassy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I really was only sassy in like band. For whatever reason, I had the confidence
I was
to
gonna
be
say,
sassy in band.
You're with your friends,
Yeah.
and it's like not in a seated thing.
But like in English, I was like, no one talked
Like
to me.
locked in.
Math, I'm like crying because I'm so bad at math. I'm like, I'm the best student because like I need to know what's going on for
Take
life.
every note.
Yeah. But yeah, like band, I've constantly been like, I'm so sorry, Mr. Bennett.
Yeah, that's
Please
so funny.
forgive me. But yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you for saying that.
So you used to be at a Gilbert Public Schools.
Yes.
But then now you're at a public charter school.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to ask you like about like the wait list in the sense that like, oh, could I just go in, or not now, but like
I'm like,
anybody?
nope, too old.
But so that is really cool because you're right. Charter schools, I guess my limited knowledge is it's like, oh, you have to pay money to get in.
Nope, you don't have to.
Oh, interesting.
Only private. Well, so there are private charter schools,
Right.
and you do have to pay money, or there's just like straight up private schools. But public charter, you do not have to pay money. So if, for example, I had a student yesterday who we're doing all the enrollment stuff for next school year already, which is crazy to think about, but they came in and they were from a Mesa Public School high school, and they were just like, hey, like we are really concerned. We're on the wait list right now. We're really concerned that we're not going to get in. You know, our son has pretty severe disabilities. This is with my principal as well as myself. And they're just like, what can we do to get in? Because they had been former students and they left. And we were just like, well, talk to us about this high school you're at. And they're just like, it's just very different. Like the culture is very, very different. Our son, because he has disabilities, like he needs a better environment because we're a smaller school. We teach just like honesty and like characters. We just have a naturally better environment. And it was just crazy to hear all the things they were saying about public school. And I was like, my gosh, I haven't been there in like 3 years and it's gone way down the tube. So we will accept, we will accept anyone. And a lot of them are just people being like, we need a change. And so that's typically what we get. So you can apply at any point. And again, we have a wait list. So people will leave and come back in. But
do you know if there are like different funnels for like, so, well, I guess your school is not just special education. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. It's like
we're college prep too. So
right.
like everything, every grade level starting in 9th grade is you have the option for AP or dual enrollment. So
wow. Since
9th grade, there's a couple,
wow.
I think there's only 1 or maybe 2 classes in 9th grade that you can do dual enrollment, which is crazy to me. But like our biology classes, all of our science and history classes are taught at an AP level or a college level, even if you don't take the dual enrollment option. So because of that, we're naturally a college prep school, and we do require more credits than public school in Arizona just because colleges require a little bit more. I don't know. It's a really cool program.
Gotcha. Oh, I think what I was trying to say was like for the students with special disability.
Special needs or
Special
disabilities.
needs. Okay.
Yeah. either or.
Like, are they on a separate wait list?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it really is like
whatever comes down the chain.
Okay, gotcha.
So every year we get a list because I again manage all of they're called individualized education programs. Anyone that has an IEP has a
IEP.
disability of sorts. We'll get a list of how many we get. And so a couple of years ago they got like, I don't know exactly how many. I wasn't there. I came in that mid-school year in November, but they had, I guess, just very few. And then last year we had a ton.
Oh, wow.
So it just depends. Like it ebbs and flows.
Okay.
So you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
You just get it. So
you'd mentioned that your school is relatively or small.
Smaller. Yeah.
Is it like compared to like Highland or like Mesquite?
Oh my gosh, so much smaller.
Well,
Well,
because those are public schools.
they are. Yeah.
Like
I think
3K students?
we accept 150 students per grade level, so 150 times 6,
Okay.
whatever that is.
Yeah.
I'm like, should I do
6,
it?
150.
Let's see.
All right, you got it.
Calculator.
It's like
I'm like
900.
something. It's 900.
Okay.
You're
nice.
so good.
Lock
Yeah,
in.
so we have about 900. There's a few
Per
of
year,
our grades
gotcha.
that are a little bit lower, and a few that
That's
are a little
about
bit
900.
yeah,
Okay.
about give or take.
Of the entire school.
Yes.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So junior high and high school.
What's your experience been with working at a slightly smaller school?
Well, Mesquite was smaller.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mesquite was really, when I first started working there, it was 1,100.
Oh, that's very small.
I know. And it's the biggest campus. This also could be wrong, but I heard this when I was there. It's the biggest campus, like physically, like size wide in Arizona. It's small. We didn't use half of the buildings,
Interesting.
which is crazy. But so that was kind of interesting, but it was a huge campus. So like I still felt like I was at a big school. Working here, it's a very small campus. It's an old church building, which is
okay.
so funny. I love it. I know the students way more. Like, and I feel like the students know their teachers way more. And so it just builds like a really healthy environment of just like we trust each other because we know each other. So I really like it. I will say I don't love the sports as much
Okay.
because I don't feel like it's as competitive. But like there are sports, so that's nice. But we're in a different like category. So like there's the AIA, which is like most schools in Arizona, the Arizona Interscholastic Association, and then we're in the CAA, which is the Canyon Athletics Association. It's just really small schools, so like it's not as competitive. So like that's one part that I don't like. But
Is that different than like divisions?
yeah, so they have divisions within it. So
Oh, I
they're just like
see.
it's like kind of like the NCAA versus like JUCO.
Nice. I don't
Kind
even
of.
know what those mean.
Yeah,
Nice.
NCAA
Okay.
is like National College Athletics Association, and NCAA or NJCAA is National Junior College Athletic
I
Association.
just looked that up.
Yeah,
today.
it's like kind of like that. Really?
Yeah,
That's
MCC.
so funny.
Yeah, because I was like,
Yeah, MCC.
okay, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
love go Thunderbirds.
Thunderbird gang.
Love.
Coach Pescador.
Wait,
shout
yes,
out. Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
yes.
because you ran there.
I did run there, but
Oh,
one of my
that's crazy.
athletes is trying to get on the team, so he's been like interviewing him.
Oh,
which is-
okay.
I'm like, please take him. He's really good.
Oh wait, that's so cool.
He has a great coach too.
I just ran
me.
at the track. It was like,
Oh, really?
yeah, it was so nice.
Yeah, because did he go to Highland? He went to Highland and then
Coach
coached
Pescador.
there?
Yeah, he coached
Okay.
around our years
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
left.
Because I like recognized him because he was kind of starting to coach when I was at MCC
Okay.
competing. And I was like, wait, you look familiar. But like, also, I was a jumper. He was a distance kid.
Right.
And I was like, I will never run.
Yeah, we don't support that.
Here we are.
But now we do. And now we run marathons.
Here we are in the
That's so
middle of
funny.
marathon training.
Oh wait, what marathon are you training for?
Well, listen, I ran the St. George Marathon and it was awful. But I
Oh.
was also ill, like
Oh, okay.
actually ill. So I did it, which is like, whoa. I keep telling myself I have to do one more because I walked like 8 miles of it because again, I was up chucking.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Long
very
story short,
difficult.
no idea.
Yeah.
I kind of want to run one in DC though.
Oh, cool.
I wish Vegas did a full marathon because in a heartbeat I would run it because it's just so fun. You just have people cheering you on.
Literally.
Like they don't know that they're cheering you on. They're drunk.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like throwing candy at you.
Yeah.
I
Like,
wish, but
Yeah, was that for me to catch or were you trying to like antagonize me?
yeah, I don't know. The first year I ran it, like this lady just had like a bouquet of licorice and I like went to go grab it and she's like, they're spiked. And I was like, oop.
No, don't do that.
I was
one.
like, I don't drink.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
also, what would that do to me right now?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
anyways, such a good marathon. Or half marathon.
I guess I'll just let you know. I think you catch a buzz like crazy fast if you're like super
Really?
elevated. Yeah. I was running
Interesting.
Ragnar or something like that.
Oh,
And
I'm
at the
trying to find a team so we can chat after.
Nice. There's a Temptation Station. And like yeah, and so like
Oh.
they give shots and stuff and I crushed a shot and instantly I was like, bro, I kind of feel messed up right now. I
You're
was like,
like-
whoa.
But like in a good way, like were you able to run fast or were you like, no, I'm done running?
Yeah,
now?
I'm
Okay.
it was at the end and I was like, I'm kind of done.
You're like, someone needs to run my legs.
yeah,
for me, please."
literally.
Yeah.
That's so
no, I think
funny.
about that all the time because like I have a lot of friends who will like drink before a race and I'm like, does that help you?
Oh yeah. Oh no.
I have no idea.
I crushed a beer before
Oh, I saw
Vegas,
your picture.
and that was not the move.
Bad idea.
Yeah, I felt like so bloated and yeah. So don't do that.
Yeah. Okay. I will. I'll stick to my water.
Yeah, water's good. Yeah, electrolytes.
Which even maybe some electrolytes if
Yeah.
I'm feeling fancy.
But yeah, so talking about running, so you're also like the running coach.
Yeah, I coach track. Well, I also coached cross country. I told you earlier. Anyways, I coached cross country. I've never run cross country. I ran like one intramural season in
Okay.
college. And they asked me to coach and it was It was good. I'm just not good at it. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I coach track. I'm a jumps coach. So
Oh,
high,
okay.
triple,
Makes
and long
sense.
jump. Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I did. So that's really fun because I actually have like a leg up on the kids. Like I'm like, I'm better than you.
Oh, nice.
And then they like take 2 weeks of practice and they're like, we're better than you. And I'm like, well, that means I'm a good coach.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I coach track at Heritage,
Okay.
which is the school I work at, is Heritage Academy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
When you are coaching, like, how big is your team?
Oh my gosh, our team is huge right now.
Oh, really?
Yes, there's like 80 athletes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
which is bigger than what the team I had was at Mesquite. Wow, I said that, which was bigger than the team at Mesquite that I coached. Yeah, we have 80 athletes and it's massive. So we have a class, it's 60 people in our class, and then we just have another 20 who come to our after school practices, and we're massive.
Wow.
For a smaller school, like it's insane. And that's just high school. We don't have any junior high kids on our team.
What did you mean by class?
Oh,
like, is this not like
it's a
after
class
school?
period.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So it's
Track class.
Track class.
Wow.
It's so fun. So our school is set up as like a block schedule. So classes are 90 minutes, which is really nice. So we have an A-day, B-day. So it is on our B-day. So it's a 90-minute class period that we do the weight room. We have a park like a mile away that we run to. That's our warm-up, is the run to the park, which is a mile. And then we work out at the park and then we run home or we use our weight room, and it's awesome. It's a great use of time. And then if we don't have, like, some of our athletes aren't in the class, we have after school practices on A days when we don't have the class at, again, another nearby track. It's like a dirt track, and it's just an hour and a half, kind of the same vibe, but we have everyone there. So we do like more of the big announcements. So it's great. And then Friday mornings, we go to a local high school and we use all of their like jumping facilities and throwing facilities.
Oh, so you don't have those at your school?
No,
Oh, okay,
we
gotcha.
do not. But it's great.
Because you're in at a church.
Yeah, we're at an old church building, an old Ace Hardware, and an old newspaper building. Like we've just like accumulated.
And that's your campus?
Yeah.
Wait, that is so
It's in
interesting.
downtown Mesa.
And it's all like
It's like a little compound.
oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Like it's not like dispersed.
It is a little bit, but like all within like the same street.
Oh yeah, okay.
So it's really cool.
Oh,
it's
nice.
so silly. You're like, how do 900 kids fit here?
Yeah.
But they do.
Oh, okay.
But we even have like a little field, which is really fun. I think it was an old parking lot maybe that they just like put grass on.
Oh, that's so
Cool.
funny.
Yeah.
I was
Look it
kinda
up.
curious.
It's fun.
Yeah.
And it literally is an old church building. So like, anyways, it's just funny.
So are the classes like in high
Weird?
school? Yeah,
Oh, I was like, the classrooms are weird.
Okay,
Yes.
that's cool.
Sorry, finish your question.
No, I was just gonna say like in high school we'd go like class 1, 2, 3.
Mhm.
And so is that how that works at your school?
Kind of. So it's if it's an A day, it's 1A, 2A. And then we have something called citizenship, which is like essentially a homeroom, but it's a 20-minute, 25-minute class. We talk about the founding fathers and founding women of the United States. And we talk about what it means to be good citizens and like why we have this idea of citizenship. So they go there, and then after that, they go to lunch for 25, 30 minutes. And then they go to their 3A and then their 4A classes, and then we're done. And then they repeat it on the B days.
Oh, okay. Are
Yeah.
those like in the same building though? Like, or do they have to like cross streets and like
So there
traverse
is one
like
street that they have to cross for our arts building, which it's arts, but also like athletics. So we have a gym in there, not a gym, weight room.
Oh, okay.
And then we also have just like a couple of classrooms. But we have a high school building where most of the high school classes are. And then we have a junior high building where most of the junior high classes are.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a little bit of overlap, but not much.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it is. It's so funny how they work.
Yeah.
Like I got the job and I was like, what?
You're
Like,
like,
how does this work?
which building am
Well,
I
and it
in?
looks like a church building. So
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
silly. You're like,
And you're like, it is.
yeah, you're like, it is a church building.
Nice.
So
That's so
yeah,
funny.
they're like, this was the chapel,
Yeah.
which is split into 3. It's so like this was the choir loft.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun.
That's cool. What's your like week look like, or your day to day?
Yeah.
Like, is it like the same every day? You just said you have A, B blocks.
Blocks.
Okay.
So it's interesting because like being a special education teacher, no days the same. So just like a rundown. So Mondays are A days, B days are on Tuesdays, and then Wednesdays A day, and then Thursdays B day. So a typical week is just kind of that pattern. And then Fridays we don't work.
Oh wow.
Which is so nice. So it's a teacher work day. And we are just expected to do what we need to do if we haven't already done it throughout the week. And for students, it's a day for them to get caught up on work. Honestly, if they need to take a mental health day, a lot of them use that as that. A lot of them work during those days. But for me, Fridays is a very structured day. I do a lot of paperwork on that day, kind of the boring stuff that I don't want to do during the week. But yeah, we come to work at 7:30 in the morning. We leave at 3:45. But school is from 8 to 3:30.
8 to
Monday through
3:30.
Thursday.
Okay, yeah. So then you're like the buffer, just like
Yeah,
just
we have a
slightly
couple of
outside.
like extra, like 15 minutes in the afternoon, 30 minutes in the morning for teachers to like prep and just kind of wrap up loose ends.
I see.
Yeah.
There's a stigma with teachers where you have to take home a lot of your work. Is have you found that to be the case in your experience?
Yeah, it's hard because special education teachers are expected to do a lot. So we do a lot more. Well, we do a lot more and we don't do a lot more. I've never been a general education teacher, so I can't really speak to them. They do a lot. Like they have to follow a lot of content and like standards. So they do a lot of planning, but once you kind of have a rhythm, like you have that for years and just adjust as the time adjusts. Special education teachers, kind of the same thing, but there are no standards for special ed, so you have to take everything from the state standards and adapt it down to these levels. So there's that, but also I mentioned individualized education programs before. Those documents are legal documents and they can be anywhere between 20 to 50 pages long. And we're in charge of managing them, following them, and like distributing them like to all of our teachers. That is where I find most of my time is spent, is just managing those, because they are so nitpicked through, like we're being audited right now. And like, if you say one sentence wrong, like they'll fail you on the audit. And so like, it's a lot of just like mental power, like writing those and doing that. So that's what I do on Fridays. So I do take that home, but with where I work, again, not having work on Fridays or not having school on Fridays, I take it home and I do it all on Friday. Outside of that, I don't really. There's some fun aspects.
I was going to say, that's pretty nice, actually.
I don't have to if I don't need to, because of the way my school is set up. When I worked at Mesquite, oh my gosh, I had to, because there was no time, especially because I was coaching. I was the head coach there.
Okay.
No time at all. Like I went to school at 7 in the morning. We had to be there at 7, and I didn't leave until 5 because of track or some of my other obligations. And so I was like, oh my God. And it was like to the hour. Like we didn't have very much prep time. I had to take it home, and I was so stressed. And that's part of why I left, because I was burnt out. Like I had nothing more to give. Like I was losing friendships because I couldn't hang out with them. I was mentally exhausted. Like some of the things that I do on my weekends that are like spiritual, like I couldn't necessarily do to their fullest because I had to spend the extra time doing my work. But I will say it is getting better. I think there's more awareness to like how much we have, but always more we can do to better that.
That's kind of like a lot, but
I'm like, what do you want to start with?
No,
my narrative is done. You can respond now.
I was gonna say, when you mentioned that you don't have the Friday off, that seems like the perfect opportunity to kind of like, I don't know, give you that work-life balance.
It is so nice.
Because I have a lot of friends who are teachers, and once you're done in the classroom, you have to now go home and do all of the paperwork,
you have
because
to prepare and do the
literally
paperwork. Decompress.
Yeah, decompress.
Try to.
Yeah.
It is really nice. I will never go anywhere else, because I'm like, my Fridays are so important to me.
I'm jealous.
I know. I'm like,
literally.
Carvana
just made us go back into the office, and I was like, Fridays. I haven't been in an office on a Friday in like 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, that was emotionally like pretty.
No,
exhausting.
it's so like I was actually talking about this today with my colleagues, and I was like, I don't think
3-day weekends are beautiful.
They're so good.
Yeah.
And something else about my school, not to like put salt in the wound, but if we have a Monday holiday, we get the Tuesday off too, because we're block.
Oh, AB.
So yeah.
Oh, whoa.
So like 2 weeks ago when we had whatever holiday that was,
Whatever,
I'm sorry, I don't know them.
Same.
We had Monday and Tuesday off. So it's a
nice.
5-day weekend, because we don't have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So good.
Wait, that's so sick.
Isn't that so great?
Wait, so does that mean you also get, so for Thanksgiving, you get the Wednesday off because you got Thursday? So that's the
Wait, hold on. How does Thanksgiving work? Yes, we do get Wednesday, Thursday. That's pretty standard though.
Oh.
Like with like most schools.
Not in corporate.
Not in corporate.
Corporate America.
You know what? That's actually true. When I worked at ASU, we didn't get the Wednesday off.
Yeah.
But
they're like, yeah, we'll work.
I took it off.
Yeah, exactly. See, I took that whole week
my
off.
job was fake.
Yeah,
so
literally.
I was like, I'm in office.
That's
no
so
one checked
funny.
on me. Me confessing my sins. Sorry,
Yeah.
ASU.
It's been a few years. You're good.
Yeah, they're fine.
Right.
Whatever.
Something
What
else.
are they going to do? Fire me? Sorry.
Yeah,
I have
bye.
to.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah, it's on my LinkedIn now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, that was shitty. Bad joke. Another thing I wanted to ask was that I've heard a lot of teachers have to do a lot of things like out of pocket.
Mm,
Is that something that you've had to deal with? Do you have
yeah.
to like supply your own classrooms or?
That's such a good question. When I was at Mesquite, yes and no. Like they like give us a little bit of a stipend, but honestly, they don't publicize that. Like I didn't know that until my second year. They're like, oh, you can
Oh,
like use this amount of money to like get your classroom set up, which is nice that I knew it that second year. But at Heritage, they are so good. I was actually just in my budget meeting, and they budget so much money for us, not so much, but a good amount of money for us to have what we need for our classes, which I really appreciate. So I have experienced it, but not so much recently.
okay, nice. That's nice to have like a supportive
Hmm.
uh place of work, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's so great. I talk about it all the time to my friends.
Yeah, that's
They're probably
awesome.
annoyed.
uh
Consider this my apology.
wait, are they also teachers?
I have some that,
Or just in general?
I mean, just in general, but I
Oh,
do have a
cool.
lot of teacher friends just because I'm a white woman. A
Mm,
lot of us went into teaching.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
I've noticed that pattern.
me too. Me
That's so
too.
funny.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Asians at work, so yeah, patterns.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Pattern. Software engineer.
that's right. That's so
Okay.
funny. I was curious to know a little bit about like what career growth or lateral moves can you do as a teacher?
Yeah. That's such a oh my gosh, you came prepared. I love it.
Thanks.
So there's not much, honestly. Like you can be a teacher, you can be a department chair, like which you
Mm,
oversee other teachers. And then if you want, you can move up to be like a dean of students, which is more of like an administrative role. But I've heard of people who do like teaching with that role. But honestly, besides that, unless you want to be like a vice principal, a principal, or even like a counselor, not much growth after that. Money wise, like if you get your master's degree, most schools, most districts will pay you a little bit more per year
interesting. Okay.
because of that. But you kind of just stay in your role.
And then what about being a coach? Do you also like, is that additional responsibilities without like, I don't know, extra pay?
Like a athletic coach.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well, pause. I want to go back. You also
Oh,
can
yep.
become an instructional coach, which is
Mm,
like or like a curriculum coach. So those are other just like roles alongside teaching that you do parallel. And that's just like helps people with like the different curriculum as well as just like teaching in general. Athletic coaching, it's just kind of another responsibility that you get. You do oftentimes get a stipend,
hmm.
which is nice, but not much.
Right.
But
Okay.
I did it for free for a while. And so like any money, I'm like, this is great.
You're like, I'm in.
Count me
Yeah, I'm
in.
swimming in it.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
awesome.
yeah, not really. I
Oh,
get like
damn.
$1,000 for a season,
Okay. Sick.
which yeah, if you like calculate out, it's like
$3,
yeah,
like $30 a month, 300
no,
bucks a month or
I was
something.
like 8 cents a practice
Oh,
or
perfect. Yeah.
something. I did it once and it was like wild. I was like, I'm never doing that again.
So that's really like important to do like a lot of fundraising because we did that in track and field
Yeah,
in
we
high
did.
school.
I didn't appreciate it then, and now I do.
Because it's like you need that.
You do. You need that money, and like our school again, like great with funds. They're really good at that, and we get some funds, but you have an 80-person track team,
Hmm.
like. Also, all of our meets, because we're in that smaller division that I mentioned, are so much further away.
Mm.
Like most of the time, actually, this week we have a meet and it's in Queen Creek, which is rare. Like usually last year, every single one of them was in like downtown Phoenix or
Nice.
like
Like a journey
Surprise
out there.
or
Yeah.
Tucson. So like we have to travel out there and we don't afford it. We can't afford
It's
it. And
so far.
parents will drive. But now that we have funds, because we just did a fundraiser and we got some funds from our school, we can like still have our students drive themselves, but like we can have buses like when we need them.
Mm.
And so yeah, fundraising, fantastic.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
My students.
Yeah.
So
Crush it this weekend.
thank you. You know what? They just canceled high jump, which I'm so sad about
Wow.
because
Wait, was that your event?
yeah. So I coach all three, high, triple, and long, but like I'm better at high jump.
Yeah,
Like that's like the one that I'm like pretty confident in
Nice,
coaching. And I'm
yeah.
like, oh, and I have a boy and a girl who will probably win state if they like be consistent with
Oh,
like the
wow.
workouts. Yeah, no, they're like really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing from me, like fully them. So-
Positive environment.
Yeah.
That's important.
No,
And
yeah.
encouragement.
I mean, like just raw talent. And I would like to think that just like the coach, because they never had coaches. So like the things that I can contribute would drive them to state more so like than they already can get get there themselves. But I'm so sad because I'm like, I wanted people to be scared seeing them jump,
Yeah.
you know? But thank you. I'm excited. We are coming out with a really big team and we're going to shock a few people because we were so small last year. but I'll keep you guys posted.
Yes, please
Yeah.
do. Follow along. We're going to
Please.
update this.
We'll follow along the whole season.
Literally.
This is our first meet this week, so
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I know, I'm excited.
And then do you have one like every Saturday
Yeah,
or something?
every Saturday for the next like 6 weeks. We have a couple on Wednesdays randomly.
Oh, okay,
but
gotcha.
I don't know. Yeah.
I was just talking to a friend. She was curious about like track schedules, and I was like, I think they're usually during the week for.
It's so weird because like dual meets, quote unquote, like are during like the week, like on Wednesdays, and then invitationals, which are like the bigger ones, are on Saturdays. But again, we're in that weird division, so we don't have dual meets. It's
Oh.
all invitationals, and they're just like randomly, and we can't choose them. Like, well, we can to a certain degree, but they're like chosen for us. Like we have a limited number, whereas like when we were at Highland, like there were hundreds of them we could go to.
Yeah, literally.
There's 9 offered this year for our division, and we have to go. Students have to go to 5 to qualify for state. So it's
Okay.
like
we have to go to 5.
we have to
because-
go. So we're going to all 9 because like also 2 of our meets are over spring break.
That's kind of lame.
Again, the
You're like, dude,
woes.
I was supposed to go on vacation.
I strategically planned my vacation around my meets.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, don't say I didn't do anything for you, student athletes.
Literally. Where are you going?
Memphis. I
Oh,
go
nice.
every year. My brother and sister-in-law and their kids live in Memphis.
Okay.
And so I go, we eat good food. We go to Civil War sites.
Crush and barbecue.
It's, oh my gosh, it's so good.
Yes.
Catfish.
Nice.
I'm a big catfish girl these days.
Is that Southern food?
It is.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
It's like
I'm
the
not a big
scum
fan
of
of
the
okra.
earth and then fried.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Dipped in some like good sauce.
Because isn't that what it's derived from? Kind of like, I don't
Maybe.
know. It's like,
I'm not well versed in my catfish knowledge.
same. Or
Yeah,
Southern food,
so-
literally.
But Southern food, 10 out of 10.
I'm in. I'm a big fan
About
of
to
fried
gain
chicken.
10 pounds.
We're going to jump it off.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
maybe.
so funny.
Maybe.
Could you describe a little bit about your salary progression?
Yeah. But like my personal one or like Arizona in general?
Maybe your personal one,
Okay.
and then you can map it to
Yeah.
Arizona.
Okay. I was telling Steve before, I have statistics. I like studied this today. So for me personally, so when I started teaching in Gilbert Public Schools, my starting salary was $44,000 flat. Which when I was a 24-year-old getting $44,000 in a contract, I was like, I am wealthy.
I'm in.
Sign me up. Where's the dotted line? Also, it was COVID. So I was like, any money is good money at this point. And then my next year, because I worked at Mesquite for 2 years, it was $44,400. So I went up by $400, which I was like, great, perfect. And then when I left teaching and went to ASU, my salary was $33,000.
Wow. pay
And I was
cut.
like, this seems like I'm at the poverty level. I'm pretty sure I was actually.
yeah.
But ASU paid for my master's degree. They paid 88%. So it ended up being about $10,000 a year, give or take. So I was like, okay, girl math, $43,000, about where I'm at. And then when I got a couple of raises there, and when I left, I was at about $42,000 plus the $10,000 of education. But when I left for the school that I'm at now, it was about a $20,000 increase.
Wow,
Yeah,
nice.
it was. I was actually like, am I rich?
Yeah, literally. You're like, is that?
I
you're-
was like, this
you
is
sent me the right doc, right?
yeah, I was like, what are you offering me? Okay, like absolutely.
Yeah.
Which was really nice. So I make around $65,000 right now. There's a few other programs that I do that like add to it. I honestly don't know my salary full out, but it's around $65,000, which is really really good for a teacher in Arizona specifically. Do you want my statistics?
Send it.
Okay, perfect. I'm so proud of this. So, according to the National Education Association, also, this isn't like big news, like, oh, white girl teacher discovers that teachers don't get paid enough. Like, I know. I'm just giving the information that I found. So, like, if you don't know, like,
I mean,
welcome
to be fair, like some people
the real
like just
world.
don't know and don't look up.
It is
stuff.
true.
Yeah.
So let me shock you. So according to the National Education Association, or the NEA, which I didn't really know about, but I've heard about, as of 2025, so this is like a couple of months ago they reported this, the national average salary for brand new teachers straight out of college is $44,536,
Okay.
which is low. Like when I was in 2020, starting at 44, I'm like, we haven't
Oh, you're right.
increased at all?
Yeah. 5 years.
Whatever. The national average salary for all teachers, just like in general, is $69,597, which I'm like,
Wow.
okay, like higher, but like not great. I said that like a reptile.
Not great.
Not great. Pardon. In Arizona, the average for new teachers, again, right out of college, is 44,124. So we're below the national average
Wow.
by just like what, 400 or something dollars. Then Arizona average for all teachers is 60,275.
Okay,
So
we
we're-
just passed that.
we're
Or you
n-
personally. But
I did,
like,
yeah. So Arizona is $9,000 below the
The
national
national.
average.
Wow.
Which puts us, I looked up, this has changed so many times, but we're 35th in education for just pay alone. But we're in the 40s for just like overall education, which is triste, sad in Spanish.
We're not 50.
No.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I don't know if we've ever been 50.
Okay.
We've been 49 and 48.
Gotcha.
We're probably, the last I heard for like overall education, we were 47th.
Wow.
Yeah. I looked at a couple of reports today that said 47, 48, 49. So we're somewhere down there. But for pay, we're only 35th.
Oh, okay.
But
Do you know if, for you, do you have like the concept of a pension or anything?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I just know.
Because that was a massive
Outing me.
thing. And there was some like drama with some of
Yeah,
that stuff.
I know. Again, I have no idea.
Okay.
But I know that I have a really good retirement system, which
Oh.
is probably, you're probably at home being like, Heather, come on, that's the same thing. We have a really good retirement system. So they match our retirement. So what we pay, they put in, which is really nice. So like over a few years, I have a pretty decent retirement, which I'm really, really happy about.
Is that like 401k? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know.
One of those
I don't know
things?
the terminology.
Okay, tracking.
I
Okay.
am naive,
Okay.
but retirement is good.
Oh, nice.
Do you want to hear the salary statistics for my school specific?
Sure.
Okay. So I work at Heritage Academy, which it's not a district. I don't know what we are. We're a charter system, I think is what we're called. But Heritage Academy, the teacher's salary, this is also from 2025.
So brand new.
Brand new. So I have the 2024 and the 2025 because they increased this year, which was awesome. For the Heritage Academy, our average range, because it ranges, is between 56,000 to 67,000 for just overall teachers.
Nice.
I'm sorry, overall new teachers. And then, or like newer, like in the profession, like a couple of years in. And then the overall salary for my school specific, because I'm at the Mesa campus, and this is right off the website. Like I'm not like sharing any secrets. From 2024, it was $67,531, and that's just for average teaching. And then 2025, the average is $71,997. So they increased this year by $4,466, or a 6.6 increase.
Nice.
So our schools really like they pride themselves in like spending their money wisely so that teachers can have a pay that they deserve, which I really am appreciative of, and I fall right in the average of that. And I feel like I read that today and I was like, oh my gosh, I am getting paid fairly. Like I am right exactly where I feel like I need to be. And we talk openly about our pay at school, like
Nice.
not amongst each other's, but just like as like a whole community, like we know we get paid well because we work hard and we earn what we get paid. And I just love that concept of heritage.
That's really cool. When I was younger, something that I was saying to Elizabeth that I have ambitions for, I don't know if I still have those ambitions, but it was like I wanted to create a school where I could have the teachers get paid extremely well with like, because teaching is hard and if like money isn't everything, but it is unfortunately kind of like a pretty big factor in your life. And if you're stressed about money and work, that can be so detrimental to your mental health.
Yeah.
So I was like, can we come up with some system to figure out a way to pay teachers well such that it drives kind of like less attrition and more focus on the students.
Wait, what does less attrition mean?
I think attrition means like
less, comma. Okay,
less.
two different words.
Right, yeah.
Less
Attrition.
attrition. Yeah,
Yeah.
what does attrition mean?
I think attrition means like the frequency of people quitting.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So
Yeah.
yeah,
wow. Yeah, no, hire me if you do it.
done.
Perfect.
I gotcha.
No, I kind of feel like that was the mission of Heritage starting. Like there were two kind of, well, I don't want to speak for the founder because he's fantastic, but one of the folds was just like building a school that builds on character. Like we want students to have good character, but also building a school where students and teachers are being supported in what they need. And that is just, I feel very valued where I work because of that exact like idea of like I'm being paid for what I do, which is a lot, but I don't feel like it's too much because of the compensation I get.
That's so cool. Yeah, and like we said, like having a environment that supports you.
Yeah.
That's like
I'll
so
never-
good to your mental
never
health too.
leave
you
because
know?
of that,
Yeah,
yeah.
literally.
Unless you build a school, and then I'll consider it.
Okay, perfect. Also, the pay has to be competitive.
Yeah, you're gonna have to
Literally.
compete.
Yeah, literally.
Because also with my school, we always get a raise and we always get bonuses.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that. Yeah, do you get additional things?
We do, yeah.
Okay.
So if you take on different responsibilities, like you get additional pay, but also every year. So, like I mentioned earlier, we have budgets that we all go through, and as we spend that money, right? We have a budget, we have to stay to that. But if we don't spend that money, the money that we don't use goes into just like a pool, and that pool gets distributed to the teachers as bonuses.
Nice.
So it's different every year, but we do increase by like about $1,000 each year, give or
Nice.
take, which is a really nice increase considering my first year teaching to my second year teaching, I went up by $400.
Literally.
And 1,000, like you can do a lot with 1,000. And every year they tell you every year we're going to increase your pay, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're very transparent where I work about like the pay, what you're going to get and why like you got certain things or didn't get certain things. So
When you said that, I was thinking of the Office scene where it's like the
Office.
surplus episode.
Wait,
Something
which-
about you don't spend your money and then like it goes back into the office.
is it with Michael?
Yeah.
Okay, it like vaguely is clicking.
It's so
I
funny.
haven't watched The Office in a couple of years because I've been like down the train of other shows like
Oh,
Parks
right.
and Rec.
Oh, true,
and,
true.
Yeah, Ghosts. Have you watched Ghosts?
Is that good?
Yeah, it's so good.
What's it about?
Ghosts.
Oh, nice. Nice.
No, it's about
Spooky.
like this old home and this girl, her and her husband buy it like or inherit it and they turn it into an Airbnb. And as they're renovating, the main character like takes a fall and like almost dies, and because of that, she can see all the ghosts that live there. And it's just like her experience.
I
Like
feel like I've heard of this.
it's so good and
Okay.
it's so funny.
Yeah, I'll check
But
it
it's
out.
her experiences of just like trying to like keep the ghosts happy and like the ghosts learning about the real world through her while also like living in a world where ghosts are like this weird concept and like not real. And her husband's like, what are you talking about? Like the whole time because he can't see them. It's so good. Anyways,
I'll check that out.
yeah, you should.
Is there anything parents or people can do to help support
Oh my
teachers?
goodness. Well, parents, you can stop being rude.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm a person too.
Yeah, I'm like I am 29. I
Yeah.
am just trying to survive the day. I like that question a lot because in all honesty, like parents for the most part are fantastic. Like they know what we're going through. You do get some parents that are like, "Well, it's your job. You chose to be here." And I'm like, "You can still be nice to me." Like
Seriously.
you
I'm a
can-
person first.
Yeah, and I think sometimes parents who aren't educators don't understand just like how much we do. And so I think just doing your research on like just even by asking your kids' teachers like, "Hey, what does a day-to-day look like for you? Like what's making you stressed this week? Like what can I do to support you in your classroom? What supplies do you need?" Like such a minor thing can really like just turn a teacher's day to the good side, right? Like there's so much that we do and like parents don't know. Like I'm not going to be like, "Okay, well this is what I did today. I went and did this and I helped this kid with his throw up and then I went and I consoled the kid. By the way, your son was great today. I hope you had a good day." Like I'm not like calling parents and telling them about everything and then telling them about their kid. Like I'm just telling them about their kid and like I could tell them all the other things, but I'm not going to. But I wish parents knew what we did and just appreciated it a little bit more. But it's a double-edged sword. Like parents also have such an important role and job.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I don't know what you do at home. I'm not a parent. Like I can't relate. So I think it's just being transparent and like asking questions. And as I'm saying that, I'm like, I can do that too.
That's so funny.
I don't know. I think that's the main one. And just like when teachers complain, just let them complain. Like,
Yeah.
but also like be realistic. Like if they're getting too much, just be like, "Hey, you know what? I've heard what I need to hear."
Yeah.
Right? Because like we can go overboard. We are human. I don't know if that's answering your question.
No, yeah, I think that's really good. Yeah. Do you have any advice for anybody who's interested in becoming a teacher?
Ooh. I think the best advice I can give is just know what you're getting into. Like if you want to be an elementary ed teacher, like go and observe. Go and see if you can volunteer at a local elementary school. Ask the teacher like their day-to-day. If you want to work at the high school, like go to the high school. Same thing, like kind of get to know the level you want to. They do it in college. Like for college, you have to do what they're called practicums. You do kind of experience that. But before you even go into the program, like learn for yourself, like what you're getting into. Ask about what special education is versus general education. That's kind of my best advice. Just like get to know teachers around you and like ask them those questions that maybe you haven't ever asked before.
I love that. Yeah. And I think that is exactly the goal of trying to provide transparency.
Yeah.
And yeah, you don't know what you don't know, but so it's important for you to hopefully eventually hear something to take that first step. Like you
Yeah.
said, like, yeah, can I go shadow
Yeah.
and learn a little bit more about
Teachers
this
would
industry?
love volunteers in their classroom
Exactly.
anytime they can get them.
Awesome. Heather, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
I really appreciate you coming in and
Happy to be here. It's so fun.
explaining all the things about what a teacher has to go through.
Yeah, it really is so much fun. Like at the end of the day, I love where I work. I almost feel like you have to interview a teacher that like doesn't like where they work because I'm like, it's so great. And other teachers are like, it's hell.
Yeah, it's like kind of the worst, bro. Like, yeah, this kid slapped my ass. It's
Yeah,
like-
I mean, he did.
Yeah,
I also had
literally.
my last little anecdote. I had a student who he was lovely. Like I really did like him, but like he would get in these moods and he did nothing in my class. It was his senior year. He had like a 22% in class.
Wow.
And however, I don't know how he found it out, but however he found out I had just gone through a breakup and he like
Toxic.
came into class and he was like, "You failed me on this project because you broke up with your boyfriend last night."
Wow.
And I was like, "It was 2 weeks ago." And no, I didn't.
That's
Because
so
you
toxic.
didn't do anything. The kid doubled down. His
Wow.
mom came in and was like, "Why are you failing my son because of your breakup?" And I was like, "You're lying."
Yeah.
I said, "Ma'am, get out." Like, respectfully, leave. But yeah, no, I don't have that anymore. That was at my old school.
Positive parents.
Positive
only.
parents
Yep.
only.
Exactly.
That's all I want in my life. But
Positive mental attitude.
what does it say? Positive
mental attitude.
my gosh, my speech impediment, that's non-existent. Positive mental attitude. I love
That's
it.
right.
No, I have amazing parents now. Like, but yeah, if you're a parent, be a kind parent, but also ask direct questions because that's like also a route. Like parents will ask these questions. I'm like, I don't know
Like
what you're
skirting
asking.
around.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
just ask me why your son is failing. Like, don't ask like the fluff. Like, just ask me, or daughter, whatever. But thank you for having me.
That's
Sorry.
crazy.
I'm a chatter, so I can go on for hours.
Should we go crush some food?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
And that concludes today's episode. Thank you again, Heather, for letting us clock in with you and sharing your thoughts and insights as a teacher. If you enjoyed today's show, please consider giving today's show a thumbs up. All right, see you in the next one.